When you hear the saying, you can't buy love, but you can rescue it, if you're anything like me, the first thing that comes to mind are animals, pets. What else can you rescue and love at the same time? Rescues and animal shelters are currently in crisis. They're pleading for our help. They're asking you to adopt. Don't shop. I, too, was skeptical once about adopting an animal. But after the passing of my 2 family dogs, we decided to visit a shelter. And there we found 2 beautiful dogs who we fell in love with. And every time I see this quote, I think of my dogs. Some see an unfortunate dog sitting in a shelter. I see an angel someone threw away. And although I don't always feel that way, when I look at their little faces, I just think, how could somebody have thrown them away? Just threw them on the street to fend for themselves. It's so sad. Today I want to talk to you about the shelter and rescue issues that are being faced right now. The causes for the overcrowding and how we can lessen the crisis. What is causing the influx? Well, for one, buying and abandoning animals. People buy animals and then realize later on that they're just a lot of responsibility, and they end up abandoning them. Some people do surrender them, but they still end up in the same place. A big issue, especially with pit bulls, is people breed them. They get these dogs just for breeding purposes, and once they fulfill the needs of the owners, they're thrown out, left to fend for themselves. Some people have no choice but to surrender their animals because of behavioral issues. And that's to no fault of anybody's. Another thing that I kept coming across in my research was something called COVID-19 pandemic puppies. People thought the best way to get through the hard times was to get a pet. Now, this was not just dogs. This was also cats, kittens, puppies. They're all on the same playing field here. The Guardian newspaper out of California noted that in 2024, the Mendocino Coast Humane Society took in 694 animals that year. The number is made up of between animal cruelty, unwanted pets, and strays. Just as with every cause, there's an effect. We can find solutions to all of our issues faced. How can we lessen the crisis? In 2023, the number of adopted pets were high. 2.6 million cats and 2.2 million dogs found homes. These stats are from the Statistic 2025 website. That's amazing. Those numbers are amazing, but the influx of animals that are still in shelters and rescues are crazy. How can we help? You can adopt a cat or a dog. You can't adopt? Foster. The process is very simple. You go in, you fill out an application, you meet these animals, whichever one you find compatible, you get to bring home. And you can't commit to giving them a forever home, but you can give them a home until they find their forever families. Another way to help is to volunteer. Volunteering your time is of great importance. Helping walk the dogs, feed the cats, unbox all the deliveries, any little bit helps. It wasn't until recently that I found out that dogs and puppies are in their kennels for 23 hours out of the day. So each dog in a shelter gets 1 hour of outside time. But that can't even happen if they don't have enough volunteers. Another way to help is to donate. 9 out of 10 times you can find a wish list on a shelter or a rescue's website. And it's normally linked right to Amazon, and you can ship the item straight to them. And they're looking for everything. They need everything from kitten food to puppy food, cat food, dog food, blankets, beds, toys, you name it, they need it. Although these suggestions are easy enough, not everyone will be on board with adopting or fostering an animal. Everybody has different views. What about pet stores? Why can't I go to a pet store and get an animal? Why should I go to a shelter? I want a new dog, a new little puppy, a dog that has never been living on the street. And that's fine too. But what people don't seem to understand is that the number of animals that are found in pet stores are bred just to be sold. The animals that you find at shelters and rescues once thought they had a loving home and were thrown out on the street and abandoned. And that's sad. But as we bring this to a close, I just want you to keep in mind that the influx of animals being abandoned by your neighbors, by your friends, by people around us is very high. These shelters are struggling to feed these animals, to care for these animals, to keep the lights on. So in any way that you can help would be so useful. Everyone may not agree that adoption is the way to go, but we can agree that this is a crisis. And these animals need our help. Helping by volunteering, donating, or simply fostering helps keep an animal off the streets. Remember this saying: the greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated.